Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and today we're here to shoot the PSE Perform 2018 at 18 meters. Now I've just set up this bow, and I'll just take that arrow off the arrow rest. I've just set up this bow, and unfortunately I haven't got the video footage because I just deleted it because I ran out of space. Now I've set it up with a Spot Hog Premier rest, straight down the center of the riser. The knocking point's at 90 degrees to the string, which is exactly in the center of the string. So 90 degrees, specialty peep sight. With a #1 clarifier, an Axel achieves carbon sight with a shrewd essential scope with the 6x lens, 33-inch stabilizer with 7 ounces at the front. On the back I'm running 15-inch V-bars with 7 inches either side. Fully adjustable V-bar at the back here. And basically what I've done so far is I've changed the draw length from 29 to 28.5 to feel a little bit more comfortable, and I've moved the angle of these V-bars in closer so I can bring the bow closer to myself to load the arrow, and that's all I've done. So to set up the bow took me about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I spent probably 4 hours on Monday with the customer setting up his PSE Perform. We did full paper tuning, bare shaft tuning. Now what I would say with that one that I just did, the bare shaft was perfect straight out of the box, didn't have to do a thing. And when I paper tuned it, we were getting a slight left tear as far as 1 centimeter. And that I found we were getting contact with the cables and the arrow. So we basically moved the cable guard a little bit out further to provide greater clearance, and then that problem went away. So with this, I've done no tuning whatsoever at the moment. I've basically shot about 30 arrows with it, and we're just going to shoot some arrows at the moment. Now there is one arrow in the target already because I was filming and then the camera ran out of memory. So you will see one arrow in the target. So like I said, we shot about 30 arrows so far with this bow. Now when I did the review comparing the TRX, I called the TRX a boat anchor. And this bow is heavier than a boat anchor, and I can feel it. That's my first thing. So this bow is physically heavy, and it's something I'm going to have to get used to. Now, first thing about this bow, I was watching Jimmy Ellis, he's got a YouTube channel, and his first shoot with the Perform, and he said, oh, it feels really good to draw, and there's no shock after the shot, and it's the best bow he's ever shot. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, this bow sounds so good to shoot, and I'm like, yeah, it does. It sounds awesome to shoot. In fact, I had a customer come in today, and just across the side here, you can see all the bows he's tested. So he tried out the Hoyt Prevail, and he's a Hoyt shooter, so Hoyt shooters are generally die-hard fans of Hoyt. So I had the Hoyt Prevail. He shoots a Hoyt Carbon Spider. So I've got the Hoyt, and he wants a target bow. So I've got the Hoyt Prevail there. I've got the Perform 3D. I've got the Matthews TRX. I've got the Elite, and I've got my Perform for him to shoot. So he was here today trying them all out. Now, what he said to me, he had one shot with the Prevail and went, nah. And he said it's like an old bow. And Hoyt shooters will hate me for it, but it is. The limbs those limbs have been on the market for ages, and it does shoot very much like an old style bow. Which is no disrespect to the bow. It shoots great. There's many world shooters shooting that bow. This bow is something different to shoot it. It's like a catapult launching, or a crossbow launching. It's like. It's different, and even if you're not a PSE fan, have a shot with it because it's pretty cool. And there's no shock, and you can see it in my hand afterwards. The bow's just dead in your hand, and it's just so fast. Now, what the customer said to me, I said, because he sat here for about an hour or more with his friend shooting all the bows in the shop. And they came out with about the same assumptions, which I always find interesting because I do these reviews and people leave comments below what they think. And I said, which bow do you like? Because I think the 3D shoots better than the Perform. I think the balance is better. The draw cycle I think is the same. He said the draw cycle is better on the Perform X than the 3D. So that was interesting. He liked the Matthews TRX. He said the draw cycle was very good. He said it's very similar to the Hoyt in draw cycle, but he felt the vibration was better after the shot, which is exactly what I said, and that's due to the short limbs. But the bow he preferred overall was the Perform out of all the bows, and he's ordered one of those, so as soon as one comes into my store, he's going to buy one. So he said the draw cycle's much better on the PSE Perform, and he liked the way it basically sounded and the shot feel of the bow when it shot, which is basically what I found. It's not to say you're going to shoot any better with this bow over another bow, but it's just nice to shoot. Now, one of the questions I had when I was setting this up was with the peep sight. So that's a specialty peep, and I've gone for hooded. Now, outdoors, because I've shot this bow outdoors, this is literally my first indoor shoot with it. Outdoors, it was bright, clear, the target was bright as. Where I'm shooting here, you can probably see my light conditions here. I've got two little LED lights above me. I find it a bit dark. And it could be my target down the end there is not very bright, but it is a bit dark to shoot. So I hope that went in the middle. I can't see, but I flicked it at the last second. But since I've wound down the bow, I'm finding it easier to hold the bow on the center of the target. And the thing that I find interesting, I'm shooting two different weight arrows and they both go in the middle. And it's like, you know, there's probably, I mean, look up the charts. They're both 350s. One's a TKO and one's a VAP. So I'm going to guess there's 30 or 40 grains difference between these arrows. Now, the normal VAP arrow is so much easier to pull out the target than TKO. And I assume that's because of just the momentum which is built up. Could be the finish, because the TKO's got a very different finish on it. But, yeah, they both hit basically the same spot, which is really interesting to me. Now what I'm finding with the weight of this bow, I'm probably feeling like I'm leaning backwards. I don't know if I am. So I feel like I'm doing this, and I feel like I'm leaning back, so sticking out my gut. I've got a big enough gut there to stick out, but that's what I feel like I'm doing with the weight of the bow. So I definitely find it easy to shoot a lighter bow, but I'm steadier with a heavy bow. And I've spoken to other people who've purchased the Performs, and they said they found the same when they brought them. Now, they've only been in Australia for 2 weeks, right? So this bow has literally only been in my shop for 2 weeks, but I had some 3Ds in my store 2 weeks prior to this. Now, what they said, they found the bow heavy to start with, but since then, so they took weights off their stabilizers, but since then they've added weights back on, and they found the bow well balanced. So they said they didn't really notice the weight of the bow. So, and they're shooting really well with them. So In fact, I was in my store on Saturday, and Kieran was in, who's he's got one of the 3Ds. He's a good shooter, and I was watching him shoot. It's the best I've ever seen him shoot. He was nailing the 10s, and I'm talking X's. It was X, 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 X. He goes, I haven't missed yet. And I'm watching him, and the poodle's running around the store, and there's other customers in the store, and he's shooting around them all. And I was like, I think he missed. And he looks through his scope, because his scope's 8 times. He goes, no, that's still in. And we went down the target, and it was clearly in. But that one arrow, you could tell the difference, because of the line cutter 10, the others were all X's. Now, he's a good shooter. There's no question he's a good shooter, but you could just see how much better he's shooting with this new bow he's got. It's chalk and cheese. Like, he was shooting really, really well. As far as good as I've seen anybody in the world shoot. That was a really good day he had here. So, am I enjoying shooting this bow? Absolutely. Love it. In my opinion, it is much better than the PSE Expression. I like the speed, I like the draw, I like the anchor. There's less vibration after the shot than the Expression. I'm really having trouble seeing the target. It's me making an excuse, but that's where the specialty peep comes in. And one of the viewers asked me which angle specialty peep I've gone for. Now, I've actually gone for the 37 degree, and I reckon I could probably go for the 45 degree, but it's something I will play with at a later date. Outside, it's crystal clear and perfect. In here, I've probably got 30% vision down there at the target. It's extremely dark. But outside it's perfect. So So how do I rate this bow compared to the 3D version? Now, I haven't shot this bow out. When I say I haven't shot it outdoors, I haven't shot it outdoors at 50 meters. I've shot it outdoors at home at 18 meters. I really like the 3D to shoot. I think the 3D is a better shooting bow than this bow. But saying that, I'm going to stick with this bow because it's 40 inches versus the 36 inches. And I'm going to shoot some scores with it. I shot really good scores with the 3D. And I watched Kieran shoot amazing scores with the 3D indoors on Saturday. So, but I'm going to stick with the 40 inch. And like I said, I'm going to shoot some scores outdoors because the weather's been terrible. But I'm going to shoot some scores outdoors and see how the scores of this vary compared to the 3D. Now I'll just go down there. Let's go down and see where those arrows landed. Because I've got a feeling the other camera ran out of memory because I heard it beep. So let's go down and see where the arrows are. So I'm down here at the target. Now I'm shooting 2 different types of arrows, so I'm not making excuses. That is the highest TKO there, and the VAPs are almost in the same position. The low ones, I've got a VAP and a TKO low. So basically, I've shot there's 2 9s, all the rest are 10s. My sights are slightly across to the left, which is cool. And I can fit my finger around the whole lot. Now originally, so I can do that, and there's a whole bunch of arrows in there. Bow's untuned. like this stuff here where the arrow's out to the side, that's a little bit me, and I did do a bad shot. There was a shot there in the middle. I said I think I kicked up. I feel like I was kind of aiming up here and it still went in the middle. I'm happy with this. So when I did the review and someone left a comment goes, you didn't look that happy, I wasn't that happy because I wanted to shoot a grip like this without stabilizers, and I didn't. The grip wasn't that bad. It wasn't as good as I've shot with some other bows I've tested, but that's cool. That's awesome. This is 30 arrows in. That's cool. The bow just feels awesome to shoot. It's got such a nice sound to it. I do get sometimes a crackling sound on the top limb. I haven't worked out what that is yet. I feel like it's when the string comes off the cam. So it could be the module, it could be the string coming off the wheel, and it doesn't occur all the time, but it's sometimes. I haven't heard it on any other Perform I've shot, only on my Perform. So all in all, I am extremely happy with the way that's shooting. I'm really looking forward to shooting 50 meters with it. And that's, so far, I'm not at the stage of tuning. I'm just getting the feel of it. I'm getting used to getting my hand in the right position. I'm getting used to standing correctly, getting my body in the right position. So always when I say to people, you know, about paper tuning your bow and all that sort of stuff, like I said, I spent 4 hours with the guy who brought a Perform the other day. Always best to go and shoot the bow first and get comfortable with the bow. I am not comfortable with this bow yet, even though that is a great grip for me. In any day of the week, that's a great grip with me, especially how much I've been shooting in the last week. And I've only been shooting really 50 pounds, the PSE Perform 3D at 50 pounds for the past 2 months. So to be shooting this is about 56 pounds, which I'm shaking around a little bit. I'm extremely happy with that. So overall, I think the Perform is the best target bow of 2018. And yes, I do have a Matthew shirt on. Look, the other companies who make bows make great bows. There's no question in my mind, could I shoot a great score with a TRX, with a Hoyt Prevail? They are nice bows. I just think PSE have just stepped it up this year, and I would not be surprised in 2019 if you see Hoyt do something similar. And I think with the Matthews, I think it's a pretty good bow already. I can make a case, I can make an equal argument why you should buy Matthews. I just think PSE, with the adjustability of the draw length, the adjustability of let off, the whole color selection, which is awesome, the feel of the bow, I just love the sound of it when I shoot it. I was shooting it the other night at home when it was raining. I think I shot about 15 arrows at home. It was pouring with rain. It just sounds awesome. So I really, really love this bow. It's, to me, it's one of the best bows I've shot. I do like the new PSE Carbon Stealth. That's a really nice bow to shoot. And there's been heaps of nice bows I've shot, but this is, I think it's really special. And if you can get a chance, I know lots of shops don't let you shoot bows, but if you can get a chance to have a shot, or have a shot with somebody's bow, if someone will let you shoot one, it's well worth having a shot, because it is a bit different than a normal compound bow to shoot. But if you can, have a shot. And I know my competition shops do not let you even draw back a bow in their shop. Good on you. Please don't let anyone shoot your bows. Come to my shop and shoot the bows. So I let you shoot them and draw them. Anyway, that's the PSE Perform. I think it's awesome. Check it out. I'm going to do tuning videos where I bare shaft this bow and paper tune it. I'm going to shoot it at 50 meters, and I'm going to hopefully do some live feeds as well once I work out how all that works. So anyway, Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, the PSE Perform. Check it out. And like I said, it took me about an hour and a half to get to that spot there where I'm up to shoot it. Thank you very much. Bye.